Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 5, Episode 1. Happy New Year to everybody. It is January 2nd, and we are just heading out for the day. Spent January 1st at home. Actually did go to a casino yesterday with my wife for a few minutes. Was not very eventful. We're up $100. We were down $200, and we ended up leaving ahead $26. So started off the year with a small win. Today we are going to be playing blackjack. In case you were curious, I am still driving my wife's car. I will be making a deal on a car most likely today. Hopefully on the way out I can set things up so that when I get home we can go out and get the new car. I am most likely going with a Honda, 99% sure. My son wants me to go with an Accord Hybrid EXL, I think it is. And I was just thinking about doing the Accord Hybrid Sport or the Civic Hybrid Sport. Now, why would I go with a smaller car? A couple reasons. Number one, the leg room is exactly the same, 42 inches. The price is $4,000 less, and the fuel economy is 6 miles per gallon more. So my kids are a little annoyed at that. They're like, why are you going to drive the same car as one of your kids? Why not? He's like, well, you know, normally you buy your kid a $5,000 car and you buy yourself a $50,000 car. Well, why would I do that? If the car is a good car, it's efficient, it's roomy, then maybe I would go with that. Now, one downside to that car is it doesn't have the cigarette lighter 12-volt charger, which is very annoying to me because that's what I plug all my stuff into. Now, I did see a video that seemed to imply that there was one in the trunk because they don't have spare tires in those hybrids, but they have a tire fixer kit. It kind of has like that fix-a-flat in it, and you need to plug it in to make it work. And I think they have a 12-volt in the trunk for that. So I'm thinking if that's true, I may be able to run a line from the trunk to the front and use that thing. I'll have to find out about that, make sure it works when you're driving, not just when the car is off or whatever. I have no idea. So if it has that, I would but more likely go with the Civic. If it doesn't, it could go either way. You know, it's nice to have a bigger car, nicer car and all that kind of stuff, but it doesn't really matter to me. I'm not a person that worries a lot about status and things like that. So today we're going to be playing blackjack, at least one casino, possibly two different casinos, hopefully multiple sessions of blackjack. Tomorrow look for a new episode from Coach. It would be Coach's episode 9, which I believe in the episode he says he covers his 26th cruise. So that's quite a bit of cruises. I don't know if it was just 26 cruises with that cruise line or overall. It might have been just with that cruise line. So look forward to hearing that episode from Coach. But for today, it is a nice day out. Looks like it's going to be a sunny day outside. The roads are dry. There's snow on the ground. It's 19 degrees. Feels like 11. Today's high is only expected to be 25, but no snow or anything coming today, so hopefully we have a nice, good, safe trip. And like I said, I'm going to try to set up my car for pickup hopefully tonight. And hopefully they have the color I want as well, so we'll see about that. So right now we're just heading out. I'm going to need to stop for gas in about 2 hours, and I'll come back and update you. Alright guys, I am back. It is a couple hours later, and as you know, as I was leaving home, chance of precipitation was pretty much 0. And right now, the area that I'm in, looking at the weather, it says chance of precipitation 2%, and it is snowing. So whatever, I guess it doesn't matter. Roads are a little bit slick, not too bad. Temperature's 23 degrees right now. I am about an hour away from my destination, and actually I was supposed to have my team meeting right now, and I waited and waited and waited, and I didn't start the meeting because I know that if I start it, then other people will get in. It'll definitely happen, but there were enough people out that nobody started the meeting, so I didn't. So that was like 15 minutes ago, so no meeting for you. Anyway, I did call the dealership and spoke to the guy, nice guy. We're using the Costco auto purchase program. We have the executive level on the Costco, which is like $130 a year. It gives you 2% cash back up to $1,250 a year, and that's why we do it. And as you know, last year I maxed it out with some purchases that I did. I guess I kind of gave some stuff away last year when I mentioned that, but nobody really noticed. Anyway, so I gave him all the information, what I wanted and all that, and he doesn't have that car in stock. He has one that's a different color in stock, and that was like my backup color, but then I asked about the interior, and the interior is black, and I kind of didn't want something that's going to show a lot of dirt, so, you know, all the little lint and stuff like that. I wanted more of a gray interior, which I guess that can show like water stains and stuff more, but anyway, I told him I'd rather have this other color, and he's looking for it. I asked him to get me a Civic Sport, unless he can get me an incredible deal on the color I want in an Accord, because Accord's only $4,000 more. I just, you know, I liked having the extra miles per gallon, but if he comes back with some incredible deal on the Accord, I'll just go for that. Payment wise, it's right where I want to be. I'd rather have a payment. One issue I have is not enough rotating credit. A lot of the credit cards I use are business cards, and they don't show up on my personal credit, so it looks like I'm pretty dormant. So as we speak, I have like 15 credit cards in my back pocket, and I'm putting some spend on each of them, like gas or food or something, just to keep them alive. And I do this at the end of every year, and I'm a little bit behind on it, to the point where some of my credit cards have already threatened to close the card. So I'm putting one purchase on each card. We'll pay those off, and I'll be good for another year. It's good to have a lot of available credit for your credit score, because they want to see your credit usage between a certain range, and most people would think that range is like 0, but really between like 2 and 10% is like the ideal situation to get the best credit score. So yeah, so he said that he received the credit application and it's perfect, no problem there, and he'll get to work on the paperwork, and if we can figure out color and inventory, we could probably get that car tonight. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. Just going to give you a brief update here. Things are looking good at the dealership. He tried to get me into a different car, and I almost did it until I realized that it's not a hybrid. So he's looking for a hybrid for me. I got a call like 2 weeks ago. I didn't answer it. They didn't leave a message. I got another call today. I picked up, but there was nobody there. I didn't say anything. And then I got a message, and guess who it was? It was our friend Mike. Mike is living in a different part of the state, and he's living with a friend of his. If you recall, I got him out of Vegas because he was unhappy. He didn't want to be in that home, even though it was the best thing for him. But I thought, you know what, it's his own life, and he wants to be happy, so he wanted to come back to town. So I brought him back to town. He lived with his sister for a while, and she was working on putting him in a home there. And then he got into an argument with her. She's got a real bad temper, and he ended up moving to another city with a friend of his. I didn't hear back from him for months and months, and now he just called me back, and he told me where he's living, and he's living in a trailer home with a friend of his and another guy. in a 2-bedroom, and he sleeps on the couch, and they take him to restaurants and take him around town and stuff like that, so he's good with that. But of course, you know, for a guy who used to smoke, gamble, and eat too much, and now he doesn't smoke anymore or gamble anymore because there's no casinos around, guess what he's doing? He's eating too much again. His eyes are pretty bad from the diabetes and stuff, and he gained a lot of the weight back. Not all of it, but maybe like a third of the weight back, and he's depressed again. But I told him, Mike, I mean, this is all up to you. You're welcome to come back to town. I'm happy to help you get an apartment and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, you're the one who chose that, and I told you to stay in Vegas. I told you I might move to Vegas. Who knows? And, you know, he agreed. And so right now he doesn't know what he's going to do. But I told him, you know, if things change here, I may move to Vegas, and you're welcome to come, and I'll help you get there. But, you know, you're an adult, and I just did what your wishes were. So, anyway, he's going to probably call me on my way back home. But, you know, he sounds same as always. You know, he's either okay or depressed, as he's been his whole life. You know, he's always made money dealing cards and then giving it to the casinos right away. In fact, he would sometimes deal for like a day, day and a half, 2 days even, and make a couple $100. And before he would go to sleep, he would go to the casino and drop off the money. It's pretty sad, but that's what would happen. So anyway, now he's away from the casinos and stuff, but, you know, he's just sitting around at home doing nothing. But I just pulled into a casino, and we are going to go in and try to make some cash, and I'll come back and update you, hiding my laptop and all this stuff, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. I hope it's not too loud in here. Alright, couple little things going on. Did play a few slots when I got here and just had a minor win. $14. Oh, nothing big. Happy New Year, man. Another AP. Of course, a million of them. There's only one machine in this area, and I'm still walking in here. Anyway, plus 14 on that, and holy cow, it's loud. Alright, we'll try again in a minute. Alright, let's try this again here. Maybe it won't be so loud. Okay, a little better, a little better. I had a short slot session to start off, ended ahead $14. Then went to play blackjack, went to the high limit area first. I know it's getting loud again. Terrible music system in here. Went to the high limit area first and didn't sit down because there were too many people back there that knew me and they would put me in and all that stuff. So, and actually a friend of mine told me the other day, maybe from now on you should just let them put you in and just get points. But I don't think that that's what I want to do. So anyway, ended up going to a low limit area instead and played there. And I ended the session ahead 275. Now, interestingly, I saw one of the people who would put me in normally in the pit next to it. He didn't come over, but another person from the pit next to it did come over to put me in. And she didn't know how much I was in for. I said I was down $25, so I was actually up $275, and she didn't put me in it at all. So I got no points that showed up, no nothing, no win, no loss, no nothing. So at least we have that. So at that point, we were up $275 on blackjack and 14 on the slots. I did get a message from the dealership, and they have the exact car I want and the color I want, which that's, you know, thankfully, because I'm going to have this thing for 5 or 10 years. You know, I'd like to have something that I like. So I said, okay, let's do it. What do you need? He told me what he needed, just ID and proof of insurance. And I sent that to him. He said it's all set, and I'm going to go there tonight and pick it up. So we'll have a new car tonight. So no more having to worry about anything, and we'll have a safe car and nothing to worry about. So right now we are looking around at some other stuff. I played a few more slots. I'm up a little bit right now, like 200. And we're going to see if we can add to that here. I'd like to make at least another 500 before I leave. Is that possible? I mean, I'm seeing everyone I know, it's like they all made a New Year's resolution to be here. So they're all here. So anyway, let's get back to it, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. I am in the parking lot of this casino trying to figure out my next move here. There's a couple possibilities here. I can go back in there. I can go to another casino nearby. Gotta watch the clock because I need to be home in time to do the signing for the new car. I did end up playing more slots. So the first slot session was plus 14, no big deal. And then I had a blackjack session plus 275. Then had another slot session plus 518. That puts us up 800 for the day. Saw a couple very, very tall younger guys in there. So obvious with their earbuds in, the backwards baseball caps on, sitting right behind people who are playing. It's just so obvious. And when you're that tall, you can't be doing that, man. If you're listening, send me an email or something, but you guys are too obvious and they'll pick you off here. Especially right now, the assistant slot manager is kind of watching people, so you got to be careful. Anyway, I got to figure out where to go from here. I guess at the very least, I can go get some lunch/breakfast and then decide from there. I do have a little bit of time if I want to go somewhere, but just trying to figure out which way to go with this. So one of the best cases might be just to go back into this casino. Let's go grab some food. We'll think it over, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. Just had a little bit of just small stuff like cheese and things like that. I'm going to head back to the casino and see what we can do here. Hopefully make another $200, $300, $400 would be nice. And we'll have about 45 minutes to an hour at the casino, and then we'll head toward home so that we can get that car tonight. So yeah, that's what we're going to do right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back, and that really didn't do anything. Basically walked around looking and looking and looking and couldn't find a table to play, couldn't find machines to play. Everything was pretty dead, so was not able to make any money, unfortunately. So at this point, we're going to head toward home. And I don't think I'm going to wrap up this episode quite yet. Let's see what happens with the car. I may go play again tonight as well. So we'll see how all that goes. Hopefully everything works out. We get the car, we go play tonight, make a little bit more money, just add it to what we made today. And it'll be a pretty decent day for us. So yeah, stopped for fuel just now. I got fuel for $1.76 a gallon. $1.76 a gallon. You can't beat it, man. You can't beat it. So hopefully those prices stay low. Silver has been going up and down like crazy. You can see right when the institutions are selling off, but they're getting weaker and weaker, and they're not going to be able to hold back buyers forever. I'm seeing now that people are having problems buying silver online. Credit cards are declining, saying that when you call them, they say that their risk department says that it's a high risk purchase, and they're putting it in the same category as gambling right now. So that's pretty bad. People can't buy a tube of silver anymore because it's considered high risk. They're doing everything they can to keep you from buying. So just be really careful out there. I mean, if I have a lot of silver at home, I mean, not hundreds of pounds or anything, but a good amount of silver at home, I'm going to hold on to it. I'm not going to sell it. If it goes way, way, way high, 500 or something, maybe. Other than that, I'm going to keep it long term. It's a good hedge against the dollar going down. But I just don't understand that they're suppressing the prices. Meanwhile, in Japan, it hit 130, and it's at $72 in the U.S. So anyway, all right, we're going to continue our trip home, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. It is now 9 p.m., and I actually did not get that car. So I had the meeting all set up. I got there, and my wife was with me, drove me there. And we pulled up, and I said, I think that's the car right there. It's the right color and everything. And, she said, you better just sit in there and make sure it's good, because online it said that the Civic and the Accord are the same size as far as legroom. Well, yes, they are. However, the seat on the Civic is about 4 inches less wide than the Accord, and that's a big deal. And so I said, well, I hate to do this to you guys, but I think I want to switch cars. So we went from like the bottom of the line Civic to a really nice Accord with leather and all that stuff. And my wife said, yeah, you really deserve it. You never buy yourself anything, which is true. But I got the really nice version with almost everything. Not the top of the line, but pretty close to it. Really nice car, and really quiet and beautiful, and has all the maps and stuff, and everything works, and it has power. It's unbelievable. So very happy with that. And then we went to dinner. We went to like a Japanese steakhouse place, so didn't really keep to my diet today, but we'll start over again tomorrow. But we were kind of celebrating. So this car is a lot quieter. I don't know if you can tell here, but I'm actually on a very bumpy road on the highway here, a very loud part of the highway. Listen to the car. Wow, what a difference, right? So, and I'm automatically still thinking now, maybe it'll be easier to drive and do meetings like this because it's so quiet. Very happy with it. So it wasn't the exact color that I wanted, but this color is very good as well. So so right now we are heading to home. We can do our segments. What did you eat today, MW? Other than the cheese I had earlier today, I had Japanese steakhouse, shrimp, steak, and chicken, and it was pretty good. I give it a 10 on a scale of 2 through 8. And what's the other things I do? What did you tip today, MW? And I think I only had one session of blackjack, and I tipped them $0. And I did get to talk to Mike again too, and he's kind of depressed and stuff. So I'll probably talk to him Sunday when I go on my trip. And what did you learn today, MW? I guess I learned that it's good to treat yourself every once in a while. I still have to adjust these seats and stuff a little bit more, but moonroof, leather, leather seats, all the nice trim inside, and all the extras in there. So it's good to treat yourself, and it'll be more motivating to have a car that's a little bit more reasonable to drive than beat up old car. And if I put a lot of miles on this and I need to get another car in 3 years, then so be it, but I'm happy with the decision I made. Look to the episode by Coach. I'll probably release that tomorrow, and then we'll be back on the road Sunday. So I think that's it for now. I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.